Hey, it's Zero at ReviewZoneHD, and I'm bringing you guys the first few minutes of the brand new James Bond 007 Legends game, which released a couple hours ago. This title covers several Bond movies such as Goldfinger, Moonraker, Die Another Day, License to Kill, On Her Majesty's Secret Service, which is one Bond movie that I haven't seen. They are going to be releasing Skyfall as downloadable content soon to finish off the game. Now, Daniel Craig did lend his voice along with a lot of the other actors that were actually in these movies, and I'll have to confess Daniel Craig is my favorite Bond out of all of them. I really enjoy him playing Bond in both the recent and the upcoming movie and the last couple games. And I am playing this on normal difficulty. This is my first time playing through this, but I don't think I did too bad in it. I did cover GoldenEye Reloaded last year along with Bloodstone and Quantum of Solace, but my favorite Bond game is still going to be the original GoldenEye from the N64, which is one of my all-time favorite games. Let's go ahead and get into the first impressions of this title. This one had me a little worried because I really didn't see much coverage or previews for it. It kind of went under the radar, but after playing through this portion of the game that you're watching in this video, I'm happy to report so far this game seems like it's pretty good. I tried checking the online portion of this game out, but it was stating the servers were down, most likely because it hasn't been officially released over on the West Coast yet, so I'm going to be sure to check that part of the game out tomorrow. Now, I got a pretty late start on this game. I kind of overslept, and the first store I went to didn't have a copy, so I had to do a little driving in the middle of the night to snag one up. It's approaching 3 a.m., so I'm going to be playing through the first couple stages tonight, and I'll continue working on it tomorrow and bringing you guys some more coverage as well. Now, the first thing I noticed when I was playing were the controls, which are absolutely phenomenal. I'm really picky when it comes to controls on first-person shooters, and I've actually played some recent first-person shooters that had some controls that I really just didn't like. But the controls on here are some of the best that I've felt in a while. It's laser accurate with where I'm pointing, although I had aim assist on during this video, which I took off as soon as I stopped the recorder, but the aim assist seems like it was a little wonky. But either way, the core controls and the movement of the crosshair was perfect, and that's what's going to matter most. Now, moving in and out of cover and the movement of the weapon when firing were both great. The weapons felt like they actually had some serious punch behind them. The tried and true sidearm pistol felt deadly, and every bullet fired out of it felt intense, even when it was silenced. And I really love the firepower on here. The only weapon I wasn't too impressed with so far was the shotgun. To me, it just didn't have that same punch and rumble in the controller that I thought it should. But when the automatic weapons feel this good, I really could care less about the shotgun. Now, the hit detection seems to be pretty good. I did notice at one point it looked like a few bullets went through a steel door, so I'm not sure what was up with that. I'll have to keep an eye on that as I'm working on the review. But technically speaking, the graphics stayed pretty smooth. I haven't noticed any frame rate issues yet. The opening movie and the cutscenes all look really nice. The only thing graphically I thought looked kind of spotty was a portion of the stage that you shoot a water pipe to put out some fire. The fire itself looked kind of bland. But everything in the first stage that I've seen so far is leading me to believe that this game may turn out to be pretty good. The two questions that I'm going to be looking to answer in the review will be how short are the missions, and will this game appeal to a non-Bond fan? I'm actually kind of the opposite. I'm not that big into first-person shooters anymore, but I love the Bond games, so I'll look at this title from both angles. Now, the sound effects, the music, and the voice acting seem to be pretty good from what I've heard so far. The opening of the story, which I didn't show in this video, seemed like it could make for an interesting way to tie the story and each movie in together. But the story itself will be another thing I'm going to focus on, because this title covers so many different Bond movies that it could make for a messy story, so that's going to be another question mark. But the most important question to answer from playing the first few minutes of this game is the game fun or not? Is it fun to shoot people on here? And that may sound like a silly question, but that's really what it boils down to on a game like this. The action, the environment, the ragdoll type physics and animations of how people are reacting when they're getting shot, all of that seems to be up to the task to make this a fun title. But that's pretty much all I got for the commentary on this one. I will be covering Mugen Souls, Mugen, however you say that. My review copy won't be in until the beginning of next week, so I'm going to have a late start on that one, but stay tuned for that coverage next week, and plenty more coverage of this game going into this weekend. I'm going to let the rest of this roll with the in-game sound. This is Zero at ReviewZoneHD, and thanks for stopping by. displayed on your smartphone to hack into the device. When your enemies are preoccupied or unaware of your presence, you can pass them by using stealth techniques. The white marker indicates that the enemy is becoming aware of your presence. A yellow marker indicates the enemy is becoming suspicious. If an enemy notices something suspicious, they will move to investigate it. A red marker indicates that the enemy has found you. Enemies will react to any noises you make. Remain as quiet as you can to avoid attracting attention. When your enemies are preoccupied or unaware of your presence, you can pass them by using stealth techniques. Remain out of sight by using cover or shadows. Use a silenced weapon when engaging the enemy to maintain your cover. Use shadows to your advantage. It will take longer for an enemy to identify you when you're in shadow. For a more direct approach, engage your enemies in direct combat. Make sure you have adequate firepower and ammunition. Loud gunfire and explosions will alert the enemy, and reinforcements will be dispatched to engage you. Bond, the bodies of eliminated or subdued enemies will remain wherever they fall. They can be seen by other enemies. An enemy will become suspicious if they see a body. They will investigate, and when they get close, the body will set off an alarm. If a camera operator sees a body, they will also set off an alarm. When eliminating or subduing an enemy, try to do it in a location where the body won't be noticed. Bond, there is a motion tracking radar built into your wristwatch. Use it to identify the location of your enemies.
What's happened to them? Sure, I heard something. I'm taking this out.
the evidence?
Bond, be on the watch for additional photographic evidence.
Transmitting now.
We've received your transmission, 007. While we analyze the data, you should check the area for more evidence. Bond, your smartphone is detecting biotoxic gas. We've upgraded the phone's operating system with a biometric filter. Use this function to analyze and track the gas. Bond, be careful. That's deadly nerve gas. Any exposure will kill you.
Ling, I need the final loading weights on the canisters.
I've told you before, I don't work for you. I work for Goldfinger. If you've got a problem, bring it up with him.
You've got 30 minutes.
Bond to MI6. I think there's more to Goldfinger's operation than we thought. I'm going to investigate.